Now let's have a look at the basic hybrid setup. Let's think about how your room is going to be set up. This is your basic hybrid setup. Most likely you're going to have a Windows laptop. It doesn't matter if it's a Chromebook or Mac, whatever it is, it's your primary laptop. You're going to connect it to your projector. The term projector could be used interchangeably with any one of these displays, which can also be used as an extended display, including a secondary computer display, a projector, an interactive whiteboard, either with a projector or a mounted projector, or an interactive display panel. We're going to set it up so that it's a second display. It might be the case that in the past you've used your laptop, connected it to the projector, and you have it mirrored. So you have the same image here that you have here. But now we're introducing this idea that, okay, well, you have students in your classroom and they need to see what's projected. So you're going to want to put it over on this screen. And you also have students at home on Zoom. You're going to want to have it on this screen and you're going to share this screen. But in order for that to work, one, you have to connect it. And two, you have to make this display number two. So it's just important first to recognize that a projector is another display, as long as you set it that way. All right. So first, we're going to connect our laptop with our HDMI or VGA cable to our projector. But what's important here is you remember that, okay, whatever I do on my board, I want the kids at home to see it and the kids in the classroom to see it. And that's important. So we're going to think of display two, and in Zoom, it's called desktop two as that setting. And that's the one we're going to share. You want to deliver your instruction from that screen for that reason. So you have both audiences seeing the same screen. When you think about the share settings in Zoom for this setup with this one device, what this does by having two desktops is, for one thing, you have your controls over here on this one primary on your primary laptop. So you have your chat over here. This is one really important piece. The chat might be private. So you really don't want to have your chat over here on the screen for a couple reasons, but one reason is that it's private. So you want to leave it private, keep it over here. You can also manage your participant list over here. It's not that private, but maybe it is, because maybe you're using these responses and you don't want to have all the kids in the class see everybody's response to these questions, if you're using that. And also, you want to use the majority of this screen space so everyone can see it in the classroom. All right, now we also have the possibility of having another device. And so the second device might be that you have another Chromebook that you can use. What you're going to gain here is the flexibility to have your primary laptop set up, connected, wired, plugged in. The battery's not going to go. You're not going to have to worry about it, the connection to the projector. And then you walk around the room with your portable device, which is wireless. That gives you more flexibility. But it also introduces a couple little complications that you have to manage. So, for example, let's talk about how you would set it up. So, you would set it up the same way as that first slide, and you would take that Zoom window that you have open and slide it over to this second display. And so here it is. Here's Zoom. And then over here on this other device, you would share, you could do it a few ways, but you would share a window probably. So let's just say that this window has Google Classroom in it and maybe some other tabs that you have open, or maybe some other platform you want to show. And that's what you're going to be sharing, that window, which would then show up full screen over here on Zoom. And I forgot to mention, you would log in twice. You'd log in here to open your Zoom, and then go over to this device and log into Zoom again. You might even get a message that says you were logged out on this device, but you can just close that and it still actually works. And if it ever doesn't work, you can always go into your Zoom session here using the browser and it will always work. Okay, so then when you share this, it shows up on the projector. And this is also, you're sharing this so the kids at home would see this as well, just like the kids in the classroom would see this. And then you're walking around the room. The other thing this does for you is you have that webcam here and you have the microphone here. So you're moving around the room, you're close to the microphone because you have this laptop with you. If you're walking around the room and this is over on your desk, this primary laptop, and you're not using a secondary device, the audio is a little tough because you're going to be far away from the mic. The kids at home won't be able to hear it very well. So audio is a real consideration here. We have some other options for audio as well, but this is one good option, is having that second device that you're walking around with for your audio. Now, if you're going to do that, another thing to think about here is you only want to join the audio on one device, so you don't get the echo and feedback that if you were to have the audio on here and the audio on here, echo, feedback, it would be kind of an audio nightmare. And for that matter, you have students in the classroom with their laptops. If they all have their audio and speakers on, we're going to have that echoing problem. So you're going to want to have headsets for the kids. Headsets prevent that echo and feedback. And you will only want audio turned on one device.
For me, the simplest way to think of this setup is that you've just joined your Zoom with two devices. The Chromebook on the left here is the one that you are now presenting from, and that a
Hmm.
laptop, the original laptop, just becomes a participant. So you're just really putting that up for a display, as like a student would see everything. So it frees you up. It allows you as the teacher to be mobile while keeping your original laptop connected to your whole setup with all the wires that you might be using. So
That's right.